the boy who invented Rolls Royce. The concept for the automobile of your dreams came from a poor child, not from a rich boy's mansion. When it comes to legendary vehicles, Rolls Royce produces some of the most opulent automobiles in the world. No brand is more unique than Rolls Royce, remarkably well known for its gorgeous aesthetic and amazing quality, and for building handcrafted cars that offer customers a smooth magic carpet ride. Hollywood elites and collectors love Rolls Royce automobiles. But how did the brand come to be? Hello viewers, welcome to a brand new video from Money Fellas. In this video, we take you into the most luxurious car brand in the world. However, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel and also press the bell icon. In this video, we'll talk about how Rolls Royce has become one of the most luxurious automaker. It all began with a young boy from a low-income home who had a love for invention. Nobody could have predicted that Henry Royce, a country lad who started tinkering with motors, would one day build the most expensive automobile in the world. His spark was ignited by a coworker, and when that occurred, history was created. The youngest of 5 children, Frederick Henry Royce, was born in England in 1863. James and Mary, Henry's parents, ran a flour mill, but Henry had little interest in it. The profits were low, and the family battled with poverty. In 1867, they became bankrupt. The struggling Royce family relocated to London in quest of a fresh source of income. At the time, Henry was just 4 years old and worked as a scarecrow on a nearby farm. Unfortunately, when his father passed away in 1872, tragedy struck once again. He started delivering telegrams and selling newspapers. Henry was deeply impacted by his early poverty. He started to better his working circumstances as a youngster by becoming an apprentice with the Great Northern Railways. Henry was not properly educated or trained. However, he would never pass up the chance to further his education in his leisure time. Henry completed electrical engineering and algebra French courses. His aunt also provided financial support for him. A few years later, Henry started his apprenticeship. Soon after, he began working for a tool manufacturing firm. He also tried his hand at an electrical company. He experienced financial problems once more after 3 years, which caused him to depart in 1882. From the moment he made the transfer from London to Liverpool, his life's ambition was to work as an engineer full-time. He so continued to work for the Electric Light and Power Company in that location. At the age of 22, Henry started Royce & Company, his own firm, to carry out his business plan. You probably noticed that at the beginning of the video we mentioned his technical friend Henry, whose name is Ernst Claremont, who assisted him with his dream. For many years, the two friends worked side by side without stopping, and as a result of their diligence, they discovered a number of electrical components that are used in our daily lives. By 1894, the company was still growing, but Henry Royce began pointing him even more in the direction of automobiles. Henry Royce had a big impact in the creation of Rolls Royce. The company's name, Royce, implies that Charles Stuart Rolls is a second noteworthy individual. Charles Stuart Rolls could pique your interest. He is the youngest child of Lord and Lady Lang. In affluent Brooklyn Square in London, he was born in 1877. Later, he applied to Trinity College in Cambridge to study mechanical engineering. He was known among his contemporaries as Dirty Rollers because of his penchant for tampering with engines. After earning his degree in 1898, Charles began working on a steam yacht. Before joining Northeastern Railway because he was more interested in sales and innovation, his father established Charles' new company. Charles dedicated the next few years to importing and selling Pugets. He made a ton of money thanks to the company's success. Charles' lifelong infatuation with vehicles would eventually cause him to lose more money. He spent money on a used 2-cylinder car in 1901 and worked to make it better. He began creating his own automobile because he desired more. He vowed to correct the problems in the automobile because he had a natural drive for excellence. Nearly 20 years after starting the business, Henry had designed and built his first gasoline engine by the end of 1903. The next year, he arrived in town in his 10th Rolls Royce. He created 2 more automobiles. Then he gave one of the 3 cars he had built to one of his business associates, Ernest Claremont, and sold one to his investors, Henry Edmunds. You might be wondering about Henry Edmunds and who he was such a significant character in this story. He is Royce's business partner and Rolls' friend. He was also responsible for arranging the meeting of the 2 individuals. Rolls was dissatisfied at the time that his company could only sell foreign-made cars. 2 men came together in this way to form a unique team. The stark discrepancies in the 2 men's social status, age, and educational backgrounds appear quite perplexing. They came to an agreement, and the result was fantastic. Royce was just 26 years old, whereas Charles Rolls was 41. Royce had learnt most of his skills on his own, whereas Rolls had spent his early adulthood traveling about in his posh car. Royce was also struggling to make ends meet. In 1906, the Rolls Royce Corporation was founded as a result of the remarkable success with automobiles. Henry Royce and Charles Rolls worked really well together despite the fact that they were very different individuals. After being finally made available, the 6-cylinder Silver Ghost quickly gained the reputation of being the best car ever produced. Ernest took on the role of director, while his co-workers Henry and Charles were busy creating and selling cars. We all know how intelligent he was, so he took action by planning various stunts to highlight the dependability and silence of the car. He was aware that enhancing the company's reputation in the media was also essential. It was highly effective in showcasing the performance of Rolls' exceptional Royce, and Claude, officially known as the hyphen in Rolls-Royce, played a big role in the operation. It should be emphasized, too, that Henry in particular was renowned for pushing himself to the maximum at work, which prevented him from eating a balanced diet, sadly having a negative impact on his health. Surprisingly, however, he succeeded. Henry and Charles set out to create the best product they could. Henry persistently refused to pursue his love of flying in spite of his attempts to get him to create an airplane engine. After buying a plane and flying it more than 200 times, Charles made aviation history in 1910 when he completed 2 non-stop flights across the English Channel. But when Charles, who was 32 at the time, died in a plane crash while going to an air show, everything changed. In addition, he was the first person to be engaged in a flying accident. As a result of his demise, Rolls-Royce ended its cooperation. The only person who made an effort to hinder the business's success was Henry. In order to create his automobiles with the best materials and the best degree of craftsmanship possible, Henry stayed committed to his objectives. He upheld Rolls-Royce's reputation with his inventive ideas and strong work ethic. Royce was able to resolve his digest issues in 1993 thanks to his reputation for exceptional quality and engineering, which resulted in the development of the current Rolls-Royce. So this was our today's video. I hope you all liked this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel, and also share it with your friends and family. We will be back soon with a new video. Till then, keep supporting and take care.